Yep.
Upset it.
Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, February 7th, 2024. I hereby call the Cities and County Subcommittee to order. Ms. Anderson, please take the roll.
Representative Alexander, Representative Hale, Representative Holtzclaw, Representative McKenzie, Representative Slater, Representative Wright, Chairman Moon,
Present.
Chairman Crawford,
Present.
Chairman Moon, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. We do have a quorum at this time. Do any members have a personal order? Seeing none, I have to go to the Health Full Committee, and Chairman Crawford will handle this meeting. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Lamberth, you're in proper form, and you're recognized on your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Probably one of the simplest bills you'll deal with all year. It just lets the county mayor talk to the county commissioners under certain circumstances. I quite frankly didn't even know this was an issue. It deals with the Attorney General's opinion from a while back, but that's basically what the bill does, Mr. Chairman.
There has been a couple of requests made for speaking. Is any one of those in the audience today that wants to speak? Okay, I see one. Would you like to ask your question, Representative McKenzie, or hear the speaker? Okay, without objection, we're going to go out of session, and we're going to hear from our first speaker today, and that is Deborah Fisher with the Tennessee Coalition of Open Government. Your time starts now.
Hopefully. Okay, here we go. Tennessee Coalition for Open Government is opposed to this bill, and it's quite simple. It allows voting members, voting county mayors who are on a legislative body to not be subject to the Open Meetings Act. So it changes the law in terms of that. The bill, I do not know. The language that is at issue here is in Title V that allows a county mayor to serve as a non-voting ex officio member of the county legislative body. However, as it turns out, there are several county mayors who do serve in a voting capacity and as the chair on county commissions. I'm told it's about half. I haven't done an actual number count. So I don't know the origin of that law. However, if there is a separation, there should be a separation between the executive branch and the legislative branch. And in this case, if a county mayor chooses to be a part of both and part of the legislative body with a vote, even if it's to cast a deciding vote when there is a tie, we should not remove all of that from the Sunshine Law. So we suggested an amendment on the bill that would either change the language here from the county mayor shall serve as a ex officio member on the legislative body to may, or to make it just subject to, to make sure we allow that county mayors who are just serving as an executive don't have any issue. There should not be an issue as it is in terms of talking with county commissioners about government business. It really is just if there is deliberation. So that's where we are on it. We think that it is a significant power to be able to vote, especially to cast deciding votes and also to preside as chair. And we think this weakens the Sunshine Law on one of the most important, most powerful legislative bodies in the county, the most powerful local body that there is.
Thank you, Ms. Fisher. We appreciate you being with us today. Before you leave, is there any members have any questions for the speaker? Thank you for being with us. Without objection, we'll go back into session. And I have Representative McKenzie to ask his question, but before we do so, I'll recognize the sponsor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and take questions in a moment. And I think Ms. Fisher, she is true and solid. And every time any one of these bills comes up, and I deeply respect that. Look, the legislature is not subject to this particular rule, and I've always thought it is mildly hypocritical that every single one of us can talk to each other, and as long as we don't have a quorum, we can have that conversation. And many do on a regular basis. But for us to tell our county mayor, whether they're a voting member or not, that they can't even talk to a county commissioner about an issue that's coming up, to me, just seems a little disingenuous. I trust them to not go heavy into deliberations, to not have any kind of quorum. But if they want to have a one-on-one conversation at lunch or something and say, look, there's something coming up, and at least have a discussion about it. They're not making decisions on that. They're just talking about it. And to me, that doesn't seem like such a harsh violation that we should not permit that. I stand ready for questions, Mr. Chairman.
Representative McKenzie.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And, this bill, I guess, this aspect of this bill is really near and dear to myself. And my colleague on the committee from Knox County got into politics for just such a reason as this. It's a slippery slope that Knox County slipped and slid into, where there were deliberations amongst bodies. I know it's the exception and not the rule, but it happens. It happened. We call it Black Wednesday in Knox County, and it stems from things like this. So, if there's a tie-breaking vote, I've been in politics. This is my 12th year in elected positions, and if there ever is a close vote, it's close because it's contentious. It's not a routine thing for votes to be close in any kind of governing body. So for that tie-breaking vote to be cast by somebody who can go to each member as the mayor, as the executive of the county, and potentially twist arms, make promises, have a closed door conversation that no one knows about, is dangerous. And I know was not your intention with this bill. It doesn't. The rest of the bill feels great, and that won't happen in Knox County because we have clear separations. But what this does, in my reading of it, it really muddies the legislative branch with the executive branch, and I think there's probably an easy fix here. But I think as it's written, it's dangerous.
Leader Lamberth on response.
Thank you. And again, with all due respect, I know you had a local issue there where folks violated the laws as they were. I understand that is near and dear to y'all as far as that area. What I'm talking about is allowing these local folks, quite frankly, to do just a tiny scintilla of what happens at the state level every single day. So there's nothing that stops a governor from calling any one of y'all up, and it's happened throughout, different administrations in the decades, for them to call up a member of the legislature and have a conversation. There's no decision made as part of that. There's a conversation. We don't allow our county folks to do that. So I holding ourselves to a higher standard, to a different standard, I don't know if it's higher or just different, is just, to me, hypocritical. I mean, we are saying that the county mayor can have a conversation with county commissioners, which is exactly what every single one of us is allowed to do with each other as colleagues. And I trust you all to discuss with each other and discuss with your constituents the bills that we have before us, and then make a decision just as we are right now in an open committee where we have those same discussions, but with the full amount of facts that you've gathered prior to coming to this committee meeting. But to say that a county mayor can talk to a county commissioner, again, is just allowing them to do the exact same thing that we allow at the state level.
Representative McKenzie.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I politely disagree in that one key thing. The governor is not part of the General Assembly. The governor is our executive. He will never come here and cast a deciding vote on any bill as we're written. So he can have all kinds, he or she, Governor Lee can have all kinds of conversations, arm twisting and whatever. This one, that county executive, county mayor, he or she is the top person in that county, and on a potentially contentious issue, can go to each person. He can go so that's totally different. It's a totally different conversation because you're mixing the executive branch with the legislative.
Representative
branch.
McKenzie, we're getting real close to running debate. So if you've
Okay.
got a question,
Thank you.
please.
Thank you.
Next on the list, I have Representative Holtzclaw.
Thank you, Chairman. And correct me if I'm wrong or not, but the governor can also veto a particular bill. Is that correct?
Leader Lambert,
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Representative Hale,
Leader Lambert, thank you so much. And that was a question, Mr. Host called, that I had also, that the governor can have the discussion, but he can also veto, so he has that authority. But I want to say thank you for this bill also, because Friday, I sent it to all of my county mayors, and every one of them come back saying, we appreciate this, we like this, we want this. So thank you for this bill, and I appreciate it.
Leader Lambert, any response?
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions for the sponsor? Seeing none, we're ready to vote on House Bill 1921. All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, nay. Bill moves into local government. If you'd like to be recorded as a no, please see the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.
Item number 2, House Bill 2019. This is by Speaker Marsh. We got a proper motion and a second. You're in due form. You're recognized, Speaker Marsh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. The intent of this proposed legislation is to change twofold. It promotes equality through ensuring the same budget protections afforded to other full-time elected officials, as well as strengthening the county mayor's ability to execute the duties of their office. What we're doing here is we're saying that the maintenance of effort proposal would work with county mayors just like it does with all elected officials. Like our road commissioners, you cannot cut their budget any more this year than they were last year. And I think the mayors are basically the only ones that still don't have this. So I will be glad to take any questions.
You've heard the explanation of House Bill 2019 by the sponsor. Is there any members have questions? Representative Holtzclaw.
Is it true that you're going to run for county mayor?
Speaker Marsh, you can answer that if you'd like or not.
Definitely not. I have a great county mayor right here. This is my county mayor, Chad Graham. So.
Is there any other questions for the speaker? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote on House Bill 2019. Moving on, all those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Bill moves on to local government.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee.
That's the only business we had for today. At this time, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Chairman Moon for closing.
Thank you, Chairman Crawford. Are there any announcements? Seeing no announcements, without objection, we will stand adjourned. Hearing no objection, we are adjourned.